Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make sure we are live. This is your AstroShaman. Here we go. This is your Astro. Welcome to the show. That is exactly what I intend for it to be today. That is the energy. Couple quick one-off announcements as we get into this Mercury Retrograde message. As we talk about the shadow, why in the caption I put 8 degrees, even though today Mercury is at 24 degrees. And that is because always about 2 to 3 weeks prior to a retrograde, we go into a shadow period. And that shadow period is actually where the drama, the retrospection, the review always happens and comes back to. I do believe that I put the chat on for members only, but maybe I didn't. So if you can chat, if you can comment, or you're even watching some replay, go ahead and not only give this a thumbs up, but go ahead and speak and state your case, because that was the intention. So go ahead and take that freebie if it's not, because I'm starting to think I didn't do it. And this is some part of the simplicity to retrograde, where when we don't see retrograde as a bad thing, when we see it as a time to intentionally slow down, considering society and the world is tremendously fast, pretty much at all times, we are always digesting some sense and some pieces of information. Most times that information is absolutely nonsense, and retrograde can help us start to sift through what is the useless information. And the thing is, what we're not understanding a lot of time is the mind is a lot faster. The brain, Mercury, is a lot faster. I'm actually getting ready to talk about Mercury in my Astro Divinity memberships. So on Sunday, actually this Sunday coming, we meet again. So this is a good time if you're looking to actually learn astrology, get deeper into astrology. You want to do movement and have a community and do breath work and begin to release emotions in a in a very intuitive yet at the same time systematic way that allows your feminine energy in your own chart to basically surrender into the divine feminine. So why this matters is because Mercury is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is the divine feminine. In all sincerity, Capricorn is the second to last. It's the theoretically, the most reputable divine feminine here on Earth. Now, key things I said is here on Earth, because the etheric feminine, the etheric divine feminine, the final is Pisces, and Pisces kind of go ahead and it ends it. So, definitely do check out what you see here. If you're actually looking to do some readings, I didn't even talk about this yet, just to give somebody some updates. Even if you're watching this on replay live, I'm going to go ahead and honor it. This is looking like a simple flash sale. There's no promotion. There's no nothing. If you saw this live, if you saw this particular live, I'm telling you that even the members are at an all-time low right now, $99 straight. Well, like I said, I almost can't even believe I said it out loud, because I don't even like saying prices on any video, quite frankly, because for the most part, the standard at least has been around $288. And so the fact that you have the possibility to get one-on-one time with me for $99, truly consider this Merry Christmas. Consider this, Happy New Year's, because it takes a lot of energy to hold space for somebody. But with that being said, that's just the energy I have. I have that energy. So I have no idea when I'm going to take that down. It's likely either between 72 hours. I'm going to keep it up at least 3 days, up until maybe 5 to 7 days. And I don't have an end point on that. But on a different video, I'll talk about that and let you know that I'm about to get ready to end it. Because technically, you're the first to know that it even started. But it is ready, already on the website. I did this actually a week ago. So the reason I bring this stuff up is publishing documents publicly for, like, right now, my career. Use this as an example. All right, as you hit that thumbs up. My career is YouTube. This is a big part of it, as well as retreats. May 6th, the retreat is coming out. A couple of y'all caught some peeps here and there. Again, I didn't announce it because we are in retrograde period, so you do want to take your time. There's no reason to rush. But, early announcement on the early, okay. In May, you're going to have a retreat. May 6th, the date. Find myself. That's what it is. I bring this up because, again, Mercury is in a divine feminine sign. So what am I saying? We have to, with these Mercury, allow our minds, Mercury, what we're learning, what we're studying, something like a retreat, for example, something like even YouTube, if you're applying these placements when you hear it on a live to yourself. This is learning. Now, the second part to Gemini and Virgo, who share the planet, the masculine and feminine, is integration. So beyond integration, you now have to move back, because integration is the masculine, it's the assertion, it's the forward movement. That's actually Gemini's responsibility. Part of Mercury, who has energy here. Understand that Mars is in Gemini, Mars is in retrograde in Gemini, and it's ending around, and let's pull up the screen here, it's ending around the 12th. It's ending around the 12th. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Okay, so right now you see Mars at 9 degrees. I do believe that this is going to happen around, let's make it big. I do believe that this is going to happen around 8 degrees. It's going slow because it's getting ready to turn back around going forward. So right now, if I take my cursor and I move to the left as I highlight, it's going backwards, let's just say. At bare minimum, it's going slow enough to appear like it's moving backwards, though it is just slow. And then it's going to go around, I think, 8 degrees, and it's going to go forward in motion. So what's happening is normally Mercury is like from here to here, and it's fast, right? It covered like 6 signs, and you didn't even know that it was switching. But when it's on a retrograde like this one for 7 months, this matters in Gemini. Why? Because Gemini is ruling and is domiciled by Mercury. So Gemini or Virgo, these two energies matter. There's no Virgo in the sky. So, okay, we're cool there. Now let's see. All right, what's today? Today is I can't go a month, so I'm going to go a week, see what happens. See, Mercury retrograde, for example, right now, my charger is actually not charging my computer. So my computer is going to die, literally. This is a definition of a technological, like, showing me, like, I know that, for example, my battery has been saying replace soon for God knows how long, right? So listen, let me see where is. Okay, so we're retrograde here. It's 8 degrees, like I thought, and then now we're going to go forward. That's January 5th. So about one more week, we get to the 12th, and what do we see here? Look at that, right on time, right? Like I said, it's stations. So when it's stations, there's ST, it says gems, but it's really Gemini, okay? And then ST for station. It stations at 8 degrees. Now, I'm going to come back to you, and I'm going to try to take that science out. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up on Facebook. I love having LinkedIn and my LinkedIn family checking in with my Facebook family, checking in with my YouTube family. I do appreciate all y'all checking in from the different networks, the different timelines. You saw some examples of Mercury retrograde in a moment where, like, literally my charger is not charging my computer, right? And this is definitely way more of a battery thing. This is technology. This is devices. These are the accessories. Mercury and Gemini is the accessories. I'm eating taro ice cream. It's so good. It's actually a root. It's like a healthy root. I mean, I'm sure there's sugar in here for a fact, sure. But it's delicious. Okay. So Mercury is literally in retrograde, for example. Just give you, it's the attention span shifting. And it's the entertainment by allowing you to see the 5 to 9-year-old little child within me. Now, I have a Venus in Gemini, for example, right? And my Venus in Gemini, it speaks about my childlike attention span that collects a bunch of different information, move from the ice cream, and now I start looking at the plant. And now I'm back over here on my computer, and I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, it's like, did I tell you that this is your AstroShaman, Pernell, Bobby? We're generating a world of harmony, leveraging astrology. And I'm doing that while human design is becoming a part of the major foundational base, step by step, day by day. That this is the 3rd Sunday coming up. Actually, it's the 1st Sunday of the month because it's January 1st. So literally, listen, this is January 1st. You have an opportunity to join in an Astro Divinity membership. And at this point, this is the way I've been able to best, most economically help people learn and teach themselves astrology without having me to be a part of the equation. I want to make other people who can understand themselves to the way that I understand myself. If I give you an example, like I am an INFPA in the Myers-Briggs test, for example. And it's like the INFPs are that 4% of people in the world who will just study themselves like no other. If you know human design, I have a one line in my unconscious. That's the investigator. Who are we investigating? Not only just ourselves, but everything happening in the world. So we see nonsense and BS to the point where we have to watch our tongue and choose when and when not to say something. Because you can't tell humanity 7 months, you can't tell humanity 2 years and a half before an event happens that something's going to happen and then have that go well for you. This is public, Capricorn, my career, in the third house now. Like, understand, I am a Scorpio rising. So I'm like the perfect case sample for this retrograde right now. It's bonkers. Like, it's bonkers how much this is aligning. As a Scorpio rising, you know, especially a whole sign, you know, my third house is Capricorn. This is media. This is data. This is stuff like my charger needing to get replaced at the battery level, not even the charger itself. Retrogrades will show you all your weak points. They will literally show you randomly all the collected data of your weak points in the investments, 8th degree, like I showed you. And the investments is stopping this Mars at 8th degree in Gemini. That is impacted directly by this Mercury. So understand that Mercury owning Gemini is making our actions kind of have already gone for the last 6 months, basically, through a retrospection. And I want you to think from now to 6 months ago. What month is it now? No, 5 months ago. 5 months ago, because 6 months, by one more month, January, it'll be there. A little less. Think 6 months, quite frankly, and a half, depending, because there's only 2 weeks left to the retrograde finishes. Oh, no, because Mercury retrograde is going to the 18th. So it's about a month. It's about a month. Mars retrograde, Gemini Mars retrograde is going. Yeah, look at this. Now Capricorn is back. Oh, I don't have the screen up. Now Capricorn, one more week. So this is the 19th of January. So like I said, the 18th is when it has stationed and gone direct. You're now again at 8 degrees here and 8 degrees here. Now, what does that mean? Okay. Excuse me. You're starting to have, like, on those same day, okay, listen, wow. On the same day, the sun is 29 degrees, finishing Capricorn, while you already got Venus there. All right, and then you have Venus at 20 degrees the 1 second prior. So 20 is, again, another derivative, a higher octave, a higher level of consciousness of Scorpio. So Scorpio is now at 20 degrees to higher consciousness, 8 degrees to beginning consciousness of Scorpio, other than 0, which is its most authentic form of its abilities, defenses, offensive, strategies, threats, weaknesses, right? Rooms for improvement, strengths. Okay, all this stuff is 8 degrees, where this retrograde, the title of this is 8 degrees. See, 8 degrees is what you need to understand, quite frankly. I got to tell you this, like, this is coming out like God is like, tell them what they need to know. There's a lot of things I want to tell you, but I got to stick to the program, because you're going to have to join the membership, because God is really pressing on my neck right now. So I need to pause and breathe about what you, the audience, needs to know. Tell me what to say, God. What do they need to know? Okay, I understand it. This is what you need. Okay. So on the title, it says something like, recognize the real ones. The title I put, that's when I listen. Recognize the real ones. Catch and release. Okay, that's the message. At 8 degrees, this is Scorpio, means there is an energetic exchange that is required. This retrograde starts today at 24 degrees of Pisces. And so that is where we have surrendered, in a sense. Okay, this is where we're surrendering our karma. I'm going to go back to the original chart. I'm going to show you Pisces 24. And we have Venus there at the same time. So let's not even get into the wheel, right? I don't even need to go to the wheel with you because we have to understand the basics. We have to understand the basics, foundational astrology before we start trying to do trines. You know, slow the down. Okay, this is what retrograde is trying to tell you. This is the channel message right now. Slow down. Stop trying to understand what's happening over here. And oh my God, I got these 4 red lines, and I got, you know, the moon squaring at a quincunx 8 degrees of my sun. And then, oh man, you know, I got my Mercury doing this opposition quintile. It's like, slow down. Okay, slow down. The retrograde is saying slow down so that you can see that you don't need all that information. What you need to know is that this began at 8 degrees, and it's shadow. The Mercury shadow began at 8 degrees, and the Mercury retrograde has kicked off at 24 degrees. This is going from the interpersonal water sign of Scorpio, and then from the interpersonal is going into the collective octave and, you know, humanitarian duty as a divine feminine to get the world to surrender and literally bend into unconditional love, bend and merge and fuse unconditionally with the highest octave and vibration in our existence that we can comprehend in a verbal manner. And that's the frequency of love. If you can, that's why that's the easiest thing you can do is align with the frequency of love. If you can do that, everything else starts to solve itself. This is a part of what in reality Capricorn is showing us as its divine feminine, and Saturn, who is here. It is on Earth. It is very real. Aligning and recognizing the real ones requires us to slow down and realize, who are you getting ready to lose? What foolish, inauthentic, which is a shadow of the divine feminine, what inauthentic things are you physically doing? Are you tangibly creating as an inauthentic manifestation externally outside of your body? I see we got 8 people watching. Thank y'all for those thumbs up. I do appreciate it. I do want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. Astrology memberships. You want to learn how to really do what I'm doing right now and do it for yourself? We're meeting this Sunday again, only twice a month. This is the first Sunday, January 1st. Forget the liquor, forget the alcohol. You know, when I asked my group, I said, this is literally Mercury retrograde. I asked my group, I said, yo, I noticed looking ahead of time, 2 weeks early, that January 1st is going to be on New Year's. Are y'all good to do that? Or are y'all going to potentially be drunk coming in? And everybody was like, I'm coming to class. I'm coming to class. I'm coming to class. I'm coming to class. It just was over and over and over on repeat. So what am I saying? I knew that anybody in there that said, yo, I might not make it on January 1st, I don't want them in the group. I might ask them to leave. And I'm not playing. I'm not playing, yo. Somebody just felt that in their heart. I'm not playing. Because I want to come to class on January 1. I know very well that January 1st is not the real beginning of the year. The real beginning of the year is March 21st, March 20th, depending on where you are in the world, and that is the spring equinox. That's the beginning of the real year. But Capricorn, which happens January 1, what happens? Capricorn season. January 1, Mercury is still retrograde in Capricorn, at least until the 18th. Okay, January 1, you know, Venus would have already kind of finished and went into Aquarius. And Mercury, only because it's in retrograde, is still in Capricorn. But you're also going to have the sun finishing right around that time, between the 13th of January and the 18th of January, finishing a karmic lesson in Capricorn. And understand how close this is to Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is now the one that says, I've been standing here since 2008. This is the last Capricorn season since 2008. Before Pluto, 2 will get you to 10, 12, okay, 15, 16, 17. This is about 17 years that Pluto has been in Capricorn. About 17 years, give or take, plus or minus. And what that is saying is, well, what were you doing in 2008 in that Capricorn area of your chart? That this final retrograde in Mercury is saying the most intimate part of you, 8th house Scorpio, the most deeply energetically and emotionally driven and profound virgin of, and I said virgin, I said virgin. So hear the tone. I meant virgin, but I said virgin, which means in 2008, everybody knows that point when they felt untainted. They felt like they didn't have their heart broken. They felt like they weren't confused. They felt safe. They felt loved. They felt nourished. They felt, respected. They felt charitable. They felt giving. They felt receiving. When's the last time you felt such beautiful octaves and emotions? Basically, since the first time you got your heart broken, and sometime before that, because your first heartbreak helped me understand what real love is. And this is Capricorn, real love, real people, real friendships, real connections, a real career that's in integrity with you, authentically divine and designed and pushed and receiving the blessings and abundance for you. Listen, Mercury conjunct Venus at the same time says that not only are we going to be able to surrender this octave in degree 24 degrees of consciousness, aka Pisces, okay? You see it. Both of them. Both of them. Both of them. Both of them. Right? That is saying what we were revealed 2 weeks ago, December 13th or so, when it was at 8 degrees in Capricorn. We now can let it all go. We can finally let it go. We can finally recognize that if it's not real for us, if it doesn't physically exist, I'm no longer buying the fairy tale and, the astral realm definition, look, image, and manifestation from, one reality creating another. What I want to manifest there is no longer enough. That is a step. It's a part of the foundation, but I'm working from the top down. I'm working from, I am here so I can see how far I came down here. And think down here is 8 degree or Scorpio. This is the baseline. This is the baseline of how deep one can go, Scorpio. How deeply profound and emotionally driven and, psychologically motivated by desire and by lust and by conviction and by vengeance and revenge and by, feeling scorn that you broke my heart. My heart exploded after I met you. It exploded open in the most beautiful, majestic, rainbow fashion where I felt butterflies in my titties. I felt butterflies in my feet. And you exploded. You blew my heart up into little pieces. This is 2008. Pluto, which is Scorpio's influence, getting ready to punch everybody in their motherfucking mouth in the most gracious manner, because Venus and Mercury can now sweet talk and harmonize through sensitive energy, sensitive thoughts, and Libra balancing the thoughts, not like Gemini cutting. Gemini will cut a mother lover. And Mars in Gemini says, I have the action and the words to look back in retrospect and see, how did I used to communicate and cut people up in my words because somebody addressed my insecurity and I didn't know how to handle that in a healthy manner. The retrograde is now showing us this healthy manner has already been reflected upon. because the retrograde is finishing. We're on the tail end. And it's finishing at the same time as Pluto since 2008. Since 2008 has been working. And you got Mercury there, Venus there. You got Capricorn Sun there. Look at this Capricorn energy. Cap, cap, cap. 1, 2, 3. Pluto in Cap. 4. Right? So what is the other narratives that's happening? The other narratives that is happening, and I'm going to show you some lines briefly, is this 8 degrees has already passed Aries and Chiron at 11 right here. It's already done that. So we have healed. We don't have more healing to do. This is what this is saying. We don't have more healing to do in our personality. We have healed what we're going to heal right now at pretty much the most solid realization. And so when I say realization, I'm saying up until this moment, depending on how much you have actually healed or not, you can see a relative feedback image in reality, tangible. Capricorn is earth, it's tangible. That is allowing you to push forward off of this new ground, this new earth, this new reality, this new money. Literally, this new stacks of money, this new stacks of, integrity in the ways in which you push your career for, you push your business for, you push your angular relationships for, which is your career relationships, the people that advance your career. You are now doing it all in more integrity, and you're not willing to meet up with people that you don't rock with. You're not willing to consume media, Mercury, that I went through a cleanse and I cut a lot of IG people out. Some people that I'm even still messaging and texting, Mercury and WhatsApp, are not necessarily people I need to see their content. But it doesn't mean that they're not necessarily my friend or my connection. So retrograde of Mercury, the shadow, is saying, take a sincere, real look at this Scorpio energy and my intimate partners and your intimate partners, 8th degree, that psychologically drive you to push your career forward, that challenges you, that people that push you to, and this is about like clientele. This is about peers, social peers. Gemini, Mercury is social peers. This is Virgo, adding an element where you are in a feminine energy in Virgo, getting rid of, and this retrograde is bringing us back to more Mars, and Gemini was retrograded while Virgo season was happening. Aries is pressure in the head. Today the moon is in Aries. And it's squaring the sun. It is squaring. The moon is squaring the sun. So our conscious reality is meeting what was unconscious to us. Thank you for hitting this thumbs up and this like button. You literally being here. I don't want that. Get off the screen. I'm sorry. Check out the membership. We're meeting up this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Do understand this is your retrograde message. So the finish of this is Virgo back in September, August, more like August into September. We had that Virgo Earth trine energy, trining Pluto and Capricorn already, aka it showed us what we needed to get rid of. But until Scorpio season, we weren't really ready to kill that off, and we killed it off. And then, we had this ascension of energy, ascension of spirit, and started seeing this thing in a more optimistic manner in Sag season. But again, through tension, through war, through conflict, through stress creating pressure. But this feminine energy of Capricorn now has shown us that we can rest. Hopefully you have been resting. You've noticed that I've done a lot less on live. I have a lot less energy. I have to really save my bullets for what matters. So the last thing happening, truly, you're no longer feeling ashamed. You're no longer feeling worry and anxiety. You're looking at the things you were worrying about, in September, and you're like, man, this is a piece of cake. Like, I have a real game plan of what to do. I have a real game plan of, where to go. And it's because Capricorn has brought a certain sense of serious, sober reality in Saturn. And it's like, you know, you got Aquarius there, you got Capricorn there, and these are serious, sober realities. And they're saying, look, we have a duty to do, and we have a higher octave, a cosmic output into the world. We have this hidden and this sleeping beast within us that is just urging us, and it's crying and it's waiting for us to release. And that divine feminine energy is destroying. It's ripping it apart. It's going over that 2008 Pluto in Capricorn. That is 15 to 17 years. That's something within us deep. Pluto is deep into our soul, into our core, begging us to pick and choose a career and alignment. Because again, Capricorn is a feminine energy. It's like, please stop working this job. Stop selling your soul. Your ancestors are pissing at their, stop giving your soul for $1, for a quick night that you don't appreciate, and you sell your body energetically down the river. Stop selling what is so dear, what has been planted and through a lineage of cultural suffering has been gifted to us to not have to choose suffering. It's a request from our ancestors and from ancestors of a familiar human DNA, as well as a more cosmic, timeless lineage of extraterrestrial forces and a sense of energy that we align with, that we can't comprehend at a human consciousness. And by trying to logically create a rational solution, we are disrupting our gifts from our lineages, human and otherwise. When you really start to love yourself, you cannot work a job and take money from somebody that you don't like anymore. I mean, and it doesn't have to be something as, vain as I don't like you, as much as you know that you're going to feel icky after a service. Even if you're hiring a coach, you're going to feel icky after hiring that coach. It's asking us to finally stop doing that. And you know that you should hire somebody else, or you know that you should work with somebody else, or you know that you feel aligned with somebody else, but you refuse to do it because we're choosing the worry and the anxiety of somebody else judging us for being with that weird kid who likes to wear sunglasses and eat ice cream while he's doing a live. Oh, and he eats healthy ice cream. That's not cool. I want dairy in mine. If there's a such thing as healthy ice cream. This isn't working anymore. This retrograde is finally showing us that it's okay for that to be true, and we can surrender like the divine feminine, because God has literally come through us and shown us that divinity is in each and every thing all around us. And us seeing that, it is heightening the phase of what we choose to accept. It's heightening the dilemma of what is going to be required for ultimate and permanent transformation. When I say ultimate, I mean permanent. Not the highest, but a permanent change in direction that is aligned with integrity, that is aligned with the discipline that it takes for me to love myself. This is the thing about Capricorn energy. It's like, it takes discipline to love myself. And if you love yourself, you will discipline yourself. You will focus and understand that temperance and ease, as well as pain and trauma, is a requirement, is a prereq to creativity. And what is a human without a creative gene and muscle to express and love and feel and live and be involved and engage with passion? The passion is the square to Aries. It's this red square. Aries is asking us for passion. So by March, in the spring equinox, everything happening now will just be the manifested. By 3 months from now, in March to April, you're going to realize that all of this Capricorn energy was the best thing that has ever happened to you. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is the earliest notice. There is a retreat that I will be hosting with my partner, Eileen, the Mexican Bruja, and it will happen here in Mexico, in the jungles, on the Mayan and Yucatan Valley cultural energy. This is the earliest of announcements I'm going to leave abroad. It will be May 6th. It will be May 6th. This is the Find Myself retreat. This is the May 6th Find Myself retreat here on the Mexican land. This is the earliest notice. This is the earliest notice. This is going to be incredible. This is my life's work. I love it. You know, I've had a problem with the internet for a long time. I've had a problem with having to come on here and talk and to lead and to be and to share stories because I'm a tremendously private person. And I realize now that the beauty behind this is I get to share stories in real life because not everybody deserves me. This is the healing energy to Chiron. Not everybody deserves me. My stories, my experience over the last 15 countries, 5 years out living in the US, meeting, living, dining in the cultural places of each heritage, each culture. I do not live in expat neighborhoods. I do not party with Americans and Europeans. We don't like each other. And the simplicity is because they know that there's a different narrative as they live out in the world with me, and they still choose ignorance. And I don't. And I got no beef with it. It's about this 8th degree in this retrograde saying it's about integrity or die. And that's what it is. And I've really begun to embrace, as I embraced human design more and more and more, that it's like, look, you know, my unconscious sun, for example, is Capricorn. This is who I am. It's Capricorn season. I cannot deny this. I am riddled with Capricorn energy. I was born on a Saturn line. Wasn't born on a Saturn line, but I lived most of my life on a Saturn line. This is hard, cold, rigorous discipline. And as a part of that, I've been able to shape myself where I am running this retreat, and my partner, Eileen, the Mexican Bruja, will be partnering with me, and we will only be taking 8 people, and this is a magic number. I've been running retreats since 2018. Even before that, I was running retreats and I just didn't know it. I've been running retreats forever and I just didn't know it. My whole life. In high school, I ran in retreats and I just didn't know it. My point, my purpose is this is my destiny. This is who I am here to be, because you know what? The simplicity is these hands, I've had to learn that I cannot touch anybody. I cannot touch everybody. I can only touch a solo few. And I have given my energy. There was a time when I truly needed to find myself, to realize that, yes, it is that simple, that seek what is seeking you. Because I was obviously and most definitely, I found out seeking myself. And I got to promise you, I got to tell you, I got to be honest from the bottom of my heart. It is a beautiful thing when you realize that you no longer need to search. It's so beautiful. It's pure bliss. The whole storm of love, passion, deceit, treachery, liveliness, discretion, the whole mix of finding yourself and being yourself and accepting and embracing those shadows for real, not for play. We don't do that play. Like I said, January 1st, I asked my members 2 weeks ago, I said, will everybody be here, or is this going to be one of those days where we're all going to be drunk? And anybody that was coming in, and I'm not saying that they can't be drunk, but look, quite frankly, simple, sir, are you going to be the type of group that's going to pull up on January 1st or not? And everybody was like, I don't know what you're talking about, coach. Well, they didn't call me that. That's a different life. But they was like, look, I don't know what you're talking about, but we're going to be there. We in class, without a doubt, everybody, boom, 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 boom. Without a doubt, we're in class. That is such a beautiful thing to see. Check out the Astro Divinity memberships. You don't necessarily have to come to a retreat. Quite frankly, I'm about to make the application process rigorous. Notice you don't even have any links to click on yet. You don't even got no information, and I got it. But this is retrograde period, so be mindful with your documents. Take your time. And understand that you can go ahead and be efficient with what you say. Capricorn is asking us to speak with integrity. So this Sunday we are meeting. This is the first Sunday, January 1st, for the Astro Divinity membership. You know, it's $33 a month until I get, I believe, like 15 members, which maybe that's like 2 away. We're going to leave it at 15. After that, it does double. So I'm going to just keep it a buck. It already says it on the website, so it is what it is right now. It will double in about 2 more members, 3 more members. Do hear that the last announcement that I have, at least for the moment, is that I believe until for 72 hours, up to about 7 days at a high, I am running a flash sale discount. There's no promotion. You do not see it. If you watch this video, you are part of that few. If you've seen the video, you're part of that few. If you see this on replay, I'm going to extend it to you even on replay. Definitely hit the thumbs up and the likes button. I want to say thank you for that. I'm running a flash sale. I know members are, at least at this moment, they're $99. $99, and you can get a 1-1 time with me. That's going to be an hour. That's going to be an hour. You know, standard is at least triple that. The standard 1-on-1 time is triple that. So, you know, don't be silly. If you feel called, don't just do something because I said something. This is retrograde. Like, be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. Don't just book it because you feel pressure and you feel like, oh, if I don't know my natal chart, then I'm nobody. That's not true. Because that likely means that your energy and focus is, you know, able and willing and have space enough to be intuitive and just feel your cycles yourself. You don't need astrology. Nobody does. You don't need astrology. Nobody does. You don't need this retreat. Nobody does. Nobody does. But if you desire to be a part of something truly authentic and real, I'll put my whole life on that. From day one, I was straight up born a G. And it's just something where I'm really having to come into the full energy and accepting and embracing that that's what it is. All of us is. All of us are. We all have gone through that healing. Understand, I said Chiron in Aries and I am in Aries. So understand that this is the healing I'm going through. Understand what I said as well, that I have an unconscious sun in Capricorn. Human design on the unconscious side of the chart. Understand what I'm saying? Capricorn and Aries. What did he be saying? I just showed you everything Capricorn. Literally, all this Capricorn energy, that's me. All this energy in Aries, that's me. Understand that. My moon is in Aries, for example. That's me. You know, my parents grew in Chiron and Aries generation. Guess what? That's me. That's them raising in Aries. So this is a 2008 permanent transformation. I'm not going to go back through there. Watch the video if you haven't caught it yet. Definitely hit the thumbs up button. What I'm saying is stay tuned. Meet us on Sunday if you feel like you want to join the community. If not, understand from about 72 hours from now, bare minimum, and I might end it earlier than 7 days, I'm taking those bookings. And like I said, they're all at a discounted rate. This is your Merry Christmas special. Shalom. Big love. I'll see you soon. And understand the last one is the early notice, May 6th, Find Myself Retreat here in the Yucatan Valley where the Mayans are from. Specifically the Mayan Valley. We're going to be in the jungles. We're going to be in the jungles. So those are the earliest notices. This is the first time I'm mentioning this out loud. There are no promos. If you on this live, it's, you know, it's for you. Go ahead and jump on it while you can, because I just told you I'm running a retreat. So obviously when them things fill up, I'm going to press close. I'm going to press close like I got things to do. You know, this is 5 months. We got 5 months. We got 5 months. We're only taking 8 people. We got 5 months. We're only taking 8 people. There's an application process. I can tell you that off rip. There's going to be a questionnaire even to start it off. There's no links to book. You can't just book this retreat and then be coming in. You can't just book this from the internet because you got money. I don't care. What's up, baby? I don't care if you got money. Everybody got money. You can breathe and money come out. Oh, what's up, gang? Too far away in London. Nah, that's not true. I talked to somebody today, actually, who also runs retreats, and she said the simplest thing. She's like, you know how you run this retreat? She knew it. I'm so happy she said it because it's so true. She said, you hit it with the leftist. You go so far left. You just go so far left. You go so far true. You go so far real. You go so far love. It doesn't matter where it's at in the world. No matter how far somebody in the world. They could be in Australia. I want to talk about far Australia. I came here from Asia. I came here from Thailand. You want to talk far? I came here from Bali. I came here from Hong Kong. You want to talk far? I came here from Berlin. We push in Morocco. Nope. We're not talking about it. These are complicated flights. So what I'm saying, when I was talking to this woman earlier today, you know, I'm so blessed because, you know, she's a projector in human design. I'm so blessed because they're the guides, and she told me and she guided me. A generator, she guided me today. This message that I'm speaking here on the retrograde, it's like I listened, I waited, I have not done lives. So I was like, you know what? God, guide me. God, take me out my way. God, get me out of my own way. Don't allow me to say nothing that does not need to be said. Help me with my speech. I want to say the bare minimum so that I can use my passion, so I can use my drive with wisdom. And it's about going so far left. I'm telling you off, you know, so far left, I can tell you some early notices on the retreat. And this is really part of the extreme because I'm choosing them far left on purpose. So do take this next piece with a grain of salt. We already know there's going to be campfire circles where we're talking about poltergeist stories. Straight up, I'm telling you right now, this is not for the faint of heart. Not anybody can come. This is not for the faint of heart. We're already talking campfire poltergeist stories. We're talking real life EMF, physical spirits beginning to manifest and able to burn down homes. You want to talk real stories? Let's talk stories that I can't say on the internet. It's just what it is. Now, this is obviously on its own fractions on the extreme, and it's not the revolving door on the retreat. But part of this is necessary because we cannot continue to pretend that we are not spiritual beings living a human experience. We cannot pretend. We cannot pretend because this is the simple reality. Capricorn is the shaman. Cancer is the shaman. Scorpio is the shaman. These are shaman players. These are shaman players. Sagittarius, Pisces, these are shamans. And each of us have at least one of those mother lovers in our chart, I promise. My Scorpio reign in his third house will love the ghost stories. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I'm leaving that up there because you know what? I vibe and resonate with. That is integrity with me. Me and my alignment, I refuse to not speak the truth. You know what? I got to be bound. I got to work in the constraints of this internet and not be allowed to say what's real, for real, for real. Okay, cool. Okay, that's fine. But we're going extreme left on this retreat. I'm going to tell you straight up. Expect to vomit. And no, we're not doing no plant medicines. Straight up, there will be no drugs. There will be no drugs. But expect to vomit. Because when we finally go ahead and dig that poison up out of you, guess what? You're going to find yourself. I'm telling you, man. And it's not even about finding yourself because the whole irony is that you were never separate. But we have to meet Capricorn reality and realize that though I am never separate, though I am always one, though I have always been one, somewhere along my spirit and my soul's journey in this human experience, I lost track. I lost track of what was true to me. I lost track. We all do. It is important and is a part of the process. Losing track of yourself is how you find yourself and how you recognize the real ones. If you listen to Ralph Smart, he says, not the inorganic ones. Not the inorganic ones. Not the inorganic ones. Not the inorganic ones. Because you know what? The inorganic ones, they won't even allow me to say the real. They'll ship me in a box somewhere. I remember, listen, there are things that I can only tell you behind closed doors, but I remember when I first left the U.S. about 5 years ago, 14, 15 countries later, I first left straight paranoid. I ain't gonna lie to you. Paranoid. Super paranoid. Super paranoid. Because I realized that I didn't have enough defense. I was like, oh, crap. I figured out some things that it's a little weird, I ain't gonna lie, but it's actually always been there since I was a kid. It's always been there. So I know that it's not really weird. And I was never really the one to ignore it. This is part of me as a life path 11, and many know that the life path 11s, they're born psychic. It is what it is. It is what it is. We see stuff, and that's why I'm here to teach you stuff. It's literally what my 9th house is about. I have a 9th house stellium, straight up. 9th house is in multiple signs, straight up. That's what we do. Ghost stories are life. I love ghost stories. So this is the message. Time being, like I said, there's flash sales. If you check the website, just check the link. You'll see flash sales. Quite frankly, I can't remember what I did the prices on. I did this like a week ago, so just check it. All our members right now, which we meet on Sunday, we're actually learning about Mercury. So this is just super ironic. Super ironic. It's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. There's no coincidence. Okay, we work in alignment. We work in attunement, and it just happens to be that Mercury is our lesson. We're going deep into Mercury. Understand, like, Mercury is not known by many. You know, first off, we already got to go to Hermes. And if you don't know Greek mythology, then you're already off. Because the modernized version of Mercury, which we're talking now, in the retrograde and the shadow period, it's already, you know, it's mainstream. You know, people do what they do. I'm not going to bother that. That's unnecessary story. So I'll see you all soon. Supernatural everything. That's gang. I got Aquarius riddled through my chart. I can tell you right now, like, I am riddled with that Uranus energy. Riddled. And everybody knows Uranus sees the future. Uranus sees the past. Uranus sees everything. I mean, it's freaking Kronos' dad. Y'all think everybody's scared about Saturn return. It's like, yo, are you forgetting of the 7-year octave of Uranus that changes every 7 years? So, you know, Saturn return happens only 29 years, and then at 58 years old, you know, and then again at like 90. Uranus will shift us at a cosmic level every 7 years. And no one's even understanding who the real daddy is. Come learn astrology with us. You see it down at the bottom. We're here generating. This is your AstroShaman Pernell body. We are here generating a world of harmony. Harmony to me is one. When we get to one, we win. Leveraging astrology. Astro Divinity memberships meeting this Sunday, 10 a.m. Central Time. Thank you all for being here. Check the earlier parts of this message. If you're watching this on a replay live, I want to say thank you for making it to the end. Go ahead and drop a Gemini symbol down at the bottom if you actually made it to the end, or drop Virgo because they're both a part of this retrograde, or drop Capricorn because you're really living in integrity. If you're living in integrity, matter of fact, if you heard the message all the way through, drop a Capricorn, drop a goat, drop a sea goat if you can, if you have that emoji, because this is where we're really at. Thank you. I love you. This is your AstroShaman Pernell Bobby. I'll see you soon. Love.